streamer and YouTuber Angry Ginge became the latest king of the jungle in the 20th, yes, well-deserved, the 25th final of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here last night. Ginge, whose real name is Morgan Birtwistle, is younger than the show itself. He's just 24 years old. And he's got millions of online followers. Apparently, he's earned well over £1 million streaming videos of himself playing video games. And that all started about 5 years ago. There he is, look, a young Ginge. And we were talking about him this morning, saying, you know, there'll be lots of young people now, Gloria, saying, oh, you know, maybe I could be a streamer, maybe I could be doing what Ginge is doing. Do you think it is a good thing to encourage children to follow that
Well, I'm
path?
probably the wrong person to ask about anything to do with technology, but anyway, in terms of this young man, I've never heard of him before, to my shame, never heard of him. But I really got to like him because I watched the programme nearly every night. And I just loved his openness in the end. And he was very frank and he just had a really good charm about him. And I also think he can be very influential regarding young people because I thought he treated all of that work, because it is a world alien to me. I don't really know much about it. But I just thought it was great the way he talked about the fact that, you know, you may think I just sit back and sort of post a few things, etc. But it is actually, you're hard at it. It is hard work, and you're at it all the time.
Well, he works
You've got
overnight,
to feed it,
doesn't he?
Yeah.
He works overnight. So I think he said he starts work at kind of 7 p.m. and he's streaming all night worldwide. Yeah. So I think he does have a work ethic. So I think there's that kind of insinuation, possibly. Like,
and I think that's good for young people to learn
playing games.
Don't you think so?
I thought he was a great role model, actually. I was aware of him because my son, Jack, is a big fan and Ginge is a Man United fan, as my Jack is. So I kind of knew of him. Absolutely loved watching him. I loved his relationship with the women in the camp, particularly the more mature ladies, shall I say. I thought he was very respectful. I loved that he talked so much about his mum and his family. He cried easily, which I think it shows that young men, it's OK to cry, you know. He's a big joker. I thought he was a great presence in the camp, and I thought it was a well-deserved win.
A very popular win, I would say. And he has all that pathos. And you know his lovely crown. You know, he threatened on the programme last night that he would wear it to the football pitch, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if he does. And I'm sure the crowd will all give him a great round of applause.
I mean, do you think he's a good role model?
Yeah, I think we've got so many young people that are out of work, haven't we? You know, the government have announced what they've announced. So there are lots of people, young people, that are out of work. These are people that are doing something they love doing, they're passionate about doing it, they work really hard. I remember talking to some of his friends who came in when he was in the jungle, and they were saying, you know, how hard they work, the planning that goes into it. So it's not just about streaming and playing games online and everybody watching you, but that once he comes off air, it's then about planning that next day. And also, you know, one of them, they were like, I've bought my own house. You know, early 20s, to have been able to have done that is a massive achievement. And I think if it's something that you enjoy, it's legal, you're enjoying, who are you harming? And you're earning a really good living. I can't complain about that.
I suppose the danger, Janet, is that there'll be lots of kids going, oh, I'll do that, and might be sorely disappointed.
And without pouring a bucket of gloom on all of this...
Wouldn't be like you, Janet.
Well, OK. It's fabulous he's won, and it's great that he's got such a good career. But the likelihood of 9 out of 10 young people being able to emulate that is quite small. It's like back in the day when Kate Moss became a supermodel, everybody thought, oh, maybe my daughter or maybe my teenage friend could achieve that. But, of course, it takes brilliance, as you've all said, a huge amount of work and total focus. And we look now at Lando Norris, who's just become the world motor racing champion, who started go-karting, I think, at the age of 6 or 8 or something. And then you begin to understand that these people are quite freakishly talented. So what we have to come back to, the grim reality of today, is that 1 million young people are NEETs, not in employment, education or training. And how can we encourage them back to understand that work can be enjoyable, fulfilling and everything else? And it's it's going to be very, very, very difficult. So today the government has announced changes to the apprenticeship scheme, which they actually announced last year or earlier this year. So what they're saying now is it's not going to cost employers anything to have apprentices, and they're making over £400 million available for 55,000 apprentices in engineering, AI and hospitality, to which I say, fantastic news, really, really good. But what's 55,000 out of 1 million sitting at home?
But the problem is, though, Jan, don't you think? I was thinking about the apprenticeship. I think apprenticeships are a very good idea.
Yes.
And they were back in Tony Blair's day as well. But I was thinking back, you know, with the increase of national insurance for many, many companies. I know one company, they employed 150 people, and I said to the managing director of it, how will you cope with that? And he said, simply, if I can get rid of them, if it's within the law, I will, and I will not take on anybody new. So when we look at jobs that are not there for some people, or another example that I heard of, this boy who'd got, and I agree with people going to university and getting a degree. And yes, I accept that if you have a degree, you've maybe got a better chance of getting certain jobs. But this boy, very good technically, a wizard apparently at IT. He has applied to nearly 1,000 companies for a job. And not only did he not get any, they never even wrote back. The majority did not even write back to say
I
what.
told a story.
But I just need to say that I know what you said, Janet, about it being like, you know, a freakish example. But I am an example of that freakish example. Because if you saw the background that I came from, who I was, my upbringing, and would I be here today? You'd probably go, statistically, no, but I am. So if you are out there and you're a young person, don't stop dreaming.
Yeah. Well, we all have dreams, but I'm just saying one of the problems why there are 1 million young people not in work is they're having the dreams without... There's a big reality gap.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
There's a recent YouGov poll says that 32% of young people said that they would like to be YouTubers, and 32% of parents said that they would support their children if that's what they want to do.
Absolutely.
So it's interesting. I mean, it's a different world. I mean, it's a whole new world.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at, you know, we said Angry Ginger, we're like, Angry who, what? And he's got millions of followers. And he's doing very well. But listen, Angry Ginger, we loved watching you, and congratulations. Well done.
Absolutely.
Well done.